Let's move on to Saturday action. Saturday, December 17th. We start at 1 p.m. Eastern. Indianapolis Colts 4-8-1, 2-4-1 on the road at Minnesota Vikings 10-3, 6-1 at home. US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, Minnesota. These Colts come in fresh off their bye week. Let's take a look at the line history here for this one. This one opened with the Vikings minus 4.5 at Pinnacle, and that's exactly where it is right now. There's been no movement at Pinnacle. The total opened up at 46.5 and has gone up to 48.5. Sky Dragon, is that the under for this Colts Vikings game, or are you still talking about the Niners game? Could you let me know? Because I'd be very interested in your thoughts there. Let's take a look at the cash flow for Colts Vikings on Saturday. 5,982 tickets in. They have given the Colts the same amount of line value that the 49ers were given, about 10%. 10%. 27% of the tickets are on the Colts and 64% of the cash. So big bets are coming in on the Colts. 57% of tickets and 78% of cash is on the over. And we've seen the market move towards that over. Colts fresh off their bye week, beat an awful season. Changed quarterbacks twice, fired Frank Reich, fired their offensive coordinator, Marcus Brady. They have a very short-handed staff with interim coach Jeff Saturday. Saturday he said, this is quote unquote, I told the guys we have a 4-week season. That's almost a quarter of the season, and it's for all the marbles. So we need the best 11 on the field. So Saturday is still trying. They were last seen in an ugly 54-19 loss at Dallas. They were outscored 33-0 in the fourth quarter. It was just the third time in NFL history a team has scored at least that many in the fourth quarter. Matt Ryan was 21 of 37 for 233 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He also lost another fumble. He's just been terrible. Absolutely terrible. Leads the league with 18 giveaways. That's 3 short of his career high with 4 games left. Alec Pierce led receivers with 4 for 86 and a touchdown. Jonathan Taylor, 21 carries for 82. Also caught 3 passes for 21 yards. The offensive line has allowed 46 sacks. That is a league high. And Sky Dragon says the under in the mini Indianapolis game. And he has no opinion yet on that Seattle-San Francisco total. Also, we have Sun Dizzle in the chat. Love seeing you, Sun Dizzle. Thank you for joining us. Dan Kelly says, I root for Jeff Saturday only because I still have dreams of being a head coach in the NFL. Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. The Cowboys were perfect 4 for 4 in the red zone against the Colts. They finished with 385 yards. The Cowboys were 7 of 13 on third down. The defense can't get stops. Shaquille Leonard has missed 3 games. Has only played 3 games this season. And, man, they miss him. He's not coming back this year, and they miss him. It's clear. And Kenny Moore was inactive. Kenny Moore also dealing with an ankle injury. So that's the situation there. So also, their left tackle, their rookie, Bernard Raymond, who has been awful. He has been said, Jeff Saturday said he's staying in the starting lineup regardless of mistakes. We want to see what he brings to the table. Vikings coming off a 34-23 loss at Detroit. It made me feel fantastic. Made me feel like everything made sense in the world, that they lost the way they did and that we cashed our game total overs and we cashed on the Lions. Like, it just felt so goddamn good. Justin Jefferson caught 11 passes for a franchise record, 223 yards. That was a record held by Sammy White back in 76. Hawkinson caught 6 for 77 but lost a fumble. Thielen caught 7 for 65 and a touchdown. But it was the Vikings run game that was completely shut down. We've seen this happen a couple times this year. They finished with 17 carries for 22 yards. Dalvin Cook ran 15 times for 23 yards and a touchdown. That 1.5-yard average was his lowest in a game with at least 10 carries in his 6-year career. He also fumbled at Detroit's 6 late in the half. The defense couldn't get stops. Lions put up 464 yards, 7 of 15 on third down, and 2 for 2 in the red zone. We talked about how the Lions were going to dominate in the red zone. They only had 2 opportunities, but they got the job done in both. They couldn't get pressure on Goff. 0 sacks, 3 quarterback hits. Starting free safety Harrison Smith with the neck injury, center Garrett Bradbury with the back injury, and offensive tackle Christian Darrisaw with the concussion, all inactive. Then Blake Brandel left with a knee injury. So the offensive line already banged up, got even worse. Jordan Hicks with the left foot, cornerback Chris Boyd with a knee contusion were hurt during the game. And Cameron Dantzler came back. And as you mentioned last week, he looked awful. So he didn't make the secondary look any better. He got deep on Detroit's touchdown passes in the first half. Take it away for us here, Andy. This is the first one on Saturday, Colts, Vikings.
Yeah, and I did look at this as Harold Williams brings up. This is a point I was about to make. When they're healthy, the Lions' offensive line is very good. the Vikings have a bit of a pass rush. Darius Smith has been good, better than good at times. So, like, I do believe both of these quarterbacks are susceptible to, like, I might just play a over sacks prop just to have some action because it's a standalone Saturday game, but I have no interest in betting this game. This was one that I looked at and said pass so quickly. Like, truthfully, my numbers show value on the Colts at this point, just based on how bad the Minnesota secondary and how bad this defense can be beat. But at that point, it's like I really don't want to be betting a team I don't understand, I don't trust. We saw the absolutely fumbling it with the time management because we have a super inexperienced head coach. We've had a bit of a roller coaster ride with the quarterback position throughout the whole season, and just we're not getting the performance out of like basically all the high end offensive positions that you're supposed to be getting from the Colts. And like you said, Leonard's been hurt for the season. We've had some definite steps down at defense. So it's like, man, I should be betting Indy. I just certainly can't do it. This line is probably should be 3, maybe 2.5, but I can't be putting hard-earned money on the Colts at this point in the season. It's yeah. And again, the total's kind of high, but Minnesota has moved the ball through the air pretty well. The Colts could do some stuff against this this lackluster secondary. But at the same time, they have to finish drives. Well, I guess we'll see. This total is about right for me. And this, like I said, the spread's a little heavy for the Vikes, but I can't be betting the Colts with real dollars.
No, I agree. It's Colts or no bet. But like Newkirk saying here, it says, how can anybody bet the Colts and feel confident? Gerald Jones on the other side says Vikings are pass for him. I can't have anything to do with these Colts and won't. But
No.
I don't want the Vikings. But Harold Williams says he's betting the Vikings -4, and it's easy. Spending penny bombs passing. There's DJ 100 grand in the chat. Great to see you. Okay, no movement here for Colts Vikings. What do you quickly just touch on the total? We have our guy Dennis Garcia interested in an under here.
Yeah, I think you could see an under with if Minnesota struggles in the red zone, because I think they will move the ball, but if they can't run again, they might just end up with a bunch of field goals. I think it is going to come down to red zone efficiency, and we'll see what kind of defense both teams can muster. So the totals a lot of the totals late in the season are going to be pretty well set. Mm-hmm. I think this is where it's at again.
Mm-hmm. The Vikings had real nice red zone numbers over the 4 games coming into the Lions game, and I didn't believe that for a second. I didn't believe those numbers for a second. And
no, they were like perfect on the game out of the bye, and they had some very good variance go their way in the red zone.
And the Lions team total over was getting bet against us all week. That went.
Yeah, I got a 27. Like at a decent number. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, I mean, on our show on Sunday, Pete Loshak got a 26.5 at -132. So, we can beat some of these totals, but you're right. They are getting tighter. No action for us in the 1:00 Saturday game.